you are capable of winning races. But you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Good Tuesday evening, everybody. Welcome to the Digital Sim Sports Network, the Dirt Racing Network, and the live coverage of the Epic Racing Association Tri-Track Challenge Summer Series. Tonight, South Boston Speedway. Small complement of drivers this evening, and this track is giving them all they want. I have seen plenty of spin-outs in the practice session, but I also witnessed about 8 laps of door-to-door racing action in practice. These guys are figuring it out. Sometimes all it takes is a few laps, and guys will figure it out. And the next thing you know, one of the best races of the season can get on you on a track that is very difficult and can be a handful, especially when you got a little bit of horsepower underneath you like these boys do tonight. We saw Dylan Connor come from the very back of the field last week. He will have to start at the back of the field again this week, as he is the top points getter right now. And they have been taking the top 3 or 4 guys and moving them to the back to start each race. It's a little bit of a challenge for him, and then, you give some other guys a chance to get out front. We saw Matt Eddy lead a lot of laps last week. We saw Pete Dillon lead a bunch of laps last week. I know they're 35-lap races. When you can lead 8 or 10 or 12 laps, that's a lot of laps in a short sprint. And it's difficult. Those short races, it's difficult for those fast guys at the back to make their way to the front sometimes because as you go, tires get old. Cars start to equalize. Always fun. Never a dull moment, that's for sure. Remind everybody about tomorrow night. Right around the same bat time on the same bat channel, we will have the Midwest Truck Series. Expecting those guys to have 35 cars, or trucks as it were, and have another major show. They're doing the same thing. They're starting their top handful of guys in the points at the back of the field each week, and it's making for some exciting racing for sure. Dylan Connor about a tenth and a half faster right now than second and third place in this pre-race warm-up session. These guys will still qualify, and they'll qualify for bonus points. And then they will reset the field. Justin Day. I'm going to say, I don't remember if he was here last week or not, but he is not a name. Brian Day, I remember. And maybe Justin is one of the new drivers as well, so we'll see. Barry Hines is in here tonight. Good to see Barry back on the racetrack. Josh Westendorf. There's a 7-car Pete Dillon. Boy, he started out front and led a bunch of that last week. And then he and Dylan Connor got together racing hard. And they didn't wreck. They just got close together. Aforementioned just there's a guy that ran up front all night long. I think he finished third last week. Old John Brunner. And we talked about Barry Hines. Jimmy Jones just squeaked into the room under the wire. So we will have 10 drivers for this. Still get ready for qualifying. We'll get ready to start following drivers around. Try to catch as many as we can. We're going to try to watch the 91. Hey, Jay Church, what's up, buddy? We're going to try to watch the 91. We'll probably try to watch the 81 if we can. The 7, if we can get. They're such short laps. 15.7, 15.8 second laps, so it's hard to watch them. What is Mr. Church up to tonight? You're the first. I haven't seen Bill or Jane. I haven't seen anybody, really. You're the first person to even say hi in the chat. Be a quick one for us tonight, for sure. We must be having a last-second drivers meeting. Well, boo hiss for that guy. Probably watching his stream, I would bet. Ooh, good gracious. Plumb worn out. I'm just waiting for these guys to get on the racetrack. Nobody's even dropped a car on a pit road yet. That's only reason we aren't watching cars go around is because absolutely nobody's going out. Well, I appreciate that. Tomorrow's a big night. Tomorrow night's a night we'll have good numbers. That truck series seems to draw them in. Jimmy Jones finally drops a car ready to go. And now they're all starting to go. Get them all rolling out here. 91 car, he's getting ready to go. Pete Dillon's already out there. We'll flick to Pete here momentarily. Watch him take his first. Pete Dillon out of 4. He'll time in. Turnmeyer 1596. Dillon 1581. We'll see how long that 81 holds up. Big wiggle out of 2 for him right there. Jimmy Jones, and Jimmy Jones did not score a time. Wardeman at 1585. Connor 1576. And he's not even, he's one and done. Pete Dillon 1582 was his best. So close tonight in qualifying. Watch the one to say he is done as well. 8th quick. Jones, 10th quick. 1639 out of that machine. Wardeman, 1586, 3rd quickest. So Connor and Dillon, I'm pretty sure will go to the back. I don't see the 88. I know he would be going to the back. Maybe Jimmy Jones is one of the other cars going to the back. So it's not really going to hurt him much. And that'll probably move Westendorf and Turnmeyer to the front row because I believe Justin Day, as a new driver, still has to EOL. Hello, Paula. As a new driver, you have to EOL. You have to prove that you can run clean with these guys before they let your qualifying time. So it's like 3 weeks or 3 races that you have to do it for. So all 10 drivers did take time. We do know that the top 4 in points will drop to the back 2 rows. Everybody else will get moved forward. I still believe the 101 is going to be moved to the back as well. And maybe both of the days, Brian and Justin will end up back to the back. So if they had a 22 car field, that penalty for, top 4 in points would be a little heftier. But they still got to pass cars and still got to be smart when they're doing it. So 35 laps, not a long time to get it done. I thought we might have had our drivers meeting, but the guys are hanging and waiting. Probably till the end of the session when they'll get ready for grid time. They will immediately start dropping guys to the back so we can keep black flags out of it. And that ought to do it right there. That'll get us going. Yeah, we're going to see both Connor and Dillon, I'm positive, are going to be going to the back. Matt Eddy, were he here, would be going to the back as well. So Werdeman and maybe Turnmeyer will go to the front row. And then Westendorf and Hines, and then the 2 Days. And I'm not sure if they'll get behind Brunner and Jones or if they will get behind Dylan Connor and Pete Dillon at that point. So we'll just have to wait for them to roll off, see what happens. Jeff Werdeman must be in the top 4 in points. He's going to the back as well. And Pete Dillon, I could have swore Pete Dillon was going to be in the top 4 in points. But it's Westendorf and Dillon on the front row. And then it'll be Turnmeyer and Justin Day. Then Barry Hines and Brian Day. John Brunner and Jimmy Jones. And then Werdeman and Connor to the back. So, not as mixed up as I had to. And I would have put money that Pete Dillon was in the top 4 in points. But I have had 0 luck lately anyway, so I'm kind of glad I didn't. Real reason was the wife was looking for Tiny Dancer. Yeah, well, I don't know. He's probably still working. It's getting close to fair time for them, so. Green flag into the air. We're underway for 35 laps. ERA. And a Tri-Track Challenge Summer Series. Pete Dillon around the outside of turn 2. And if he doesn't wiggle right there, I think he's clear of Westendorf. And Westendorf goes around down in 3 and 4. Overdrove the entry. Well, I think Brian Day and Barry Hines are going to have a meeting of the minds. 57 and the 107. Well, the 107 bumped the fence, but the 57, I think, tried to clear himself there. And he's going to have to get some damage looked at. He may have blown the motor in that 107 car, so. I think Hines and Day were pretty tight getting off 2. Day bumped the fence. Hines came up a little bit. Same matter, can't occupy the same space at the same time. So you're going to get spin arounds. I have not talked to Scott in a couple of days, actually, Jay, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure that they're super busy at work right now because it's getting close to fair time. And usually his days get really long and his time gets really small. So we don't get a lot of opportunity to chat. I may try to reach out to him tomorrow. We'll see if our counter resets here. I'm pretty sure the laps don't count. And we hadn't completed one that I can remember. Look inside row number 4. There's your 91 of your points leader right now, and last week's winner, Dylan Connor. Jimmy Jones and Jeff Werdeman right up there. The 92 of Westendorf obviously had to go to the back. He's in front of the 2 cars that actually wrecked, but he spun out. That's going to move him to the back as well as we get ready to go back to the green flag. We'll see what the lap counter says. Yeah, laps are counting. Thought we were caution laps didn't count on the short races, but hey, like I said, I've been wrong before. I'm liable to be wrong again. Pete Dillon still trying to clear. Car that started on the front row with him. He couldn't get away from Werdeman. He's not able to get away from Turnmeyer right now. Oh, no. Here we go.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
This one, I believe we have drone cam footage for. And Marvin Turnmeyer just gets loose right there. Got into that right rear corner. That puts John Brunner under it. That's going to put a rookie at the front of this field. Jimmy Jones second, and then Dylan Connor. Had to go all the way to the back. He's all the way up to third, and we haven't even made 4 laps. I didn't think the laps counted under caution in this series. Yeah. Lap counter reset there during that run. Wardeman back to 5th, and then Hines, Day, and Turnmeyer's all the way at the back. Pete Dillon, Josh Westendorf. Westendorf got a little piece of something in that mess, and then John Brunner is in there as well. He got a heavy piece of Pete Dillon coming off of the wall coming back across track. So South Boston is being South Boston. Slippery, tricky. If you try to overpower it, it lets you know that that's not going to work.
All right, man. Like you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
So we're going to extend so we can try to get the 7 and the 92. Back out. Hello there, Mr. Bill. How are you doing? How's Adam doing on the other side? All right, now we're doubled up. The lights go off. We are ready to get back at it. We still have over 30 laps to go in this thing. Into the start zone, green flag. Jimmy Jones, great start on the outside. Connor cuts down and goes below the yellow line to get on the flat part of the racetrack. I saw a car doing that in practice earlier, and I was wondering who it was. I was just watching out the window a little bit. He is going to waste no time. He's going to try to dispatch with the 42 car here, and then he'll go right to attack mode to get around the 101. Get out in front, he'll have full control. Oh, Jones way out of shape. Good save out of the 42. It's going to cost him a few spots, and they're going to wreck behind it.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
I think that was a case of trying to get away from what was going on up front. And I don't think Westendorf could see that the 42 was in trouble and off the pace, and Turnmeyer got in that lane right there and got turned around. Well, we haven't made it to lap 10. We're already on our 3rd caution. I would have put money that we didn't have 3 cautions all night. And it's going to get exciting at the front because now you've got Dylan Connor going to start on the outside of that front row. And I'll have Wardeman on the inside of row 2 and Barry Hines on the outside. Jimmy Jones inside row 3 with John Brunner on his outside. And then Josh Westendorf will start on the inside of row number 4. We'll see if Brian Day, Pete Dillon, or Marvin Turnmeyer are the car that line up next to him. Pete Dillon has been in his 2nd trip in. He hit the wall pretty hard. And then Brian Day still trying to get things worked out after his lap 1 incident. All right. We are liable to get 1 to go here. And we do.
Man, like it back on
And
the
then they
pace car, we're not
immediately
going
extend
green this
that
time,
back
we are
out
not
so we can
going
try to
green.
bring these guys back. Got 3 cars on pit road. They'd like to get them all back out there. We got one. We got Pete Dillon back on track. Here comes Brian Day rolling out. Yeah, he is going to join the back of the field. Marvin Turnmeyer may be terminal. So we should get a restart here. We still have 28 laps to go. Lots of racing left.
Green, green, green.
Outside has had a little bit of an advantage. Yeah, right there on these restarts. And I think you'll see Dylan Connor being able to do something from that outside. Big run right here on the exit of the corner. He's able to get the power down so much sooner than the 101. It's just a matter of time. When that guy's going to hunt the front, he's going to get there. And he is there clean and clear now. Lap number 10. At the end of caution number 4. And Connor from 10th to 1st with 25 laps remaining. Day still second. Werdeman side by side with Hines. And it was Barry Hines and Brian Day that had issues on lap number 1 down the backstretch. This time, Werdeman clears Hines into the 3rd spot. Brunner with another good run. He stayed in the top 5. He's got a lot of company. Here comes Pete Dillon. Dillon may finally have the 7 car squared away enough to make a run back inside the top 5. I don't know if he's going to be able to go up front and challenge. But he's definitely got enough car left to go inside the top 5 here. Dylan Connor, just doing Dylan Connor things. He got to the front. He's going to start to drive away from these guys. Car backwards. Turns 3 and 4. It's Westendorf. And that's a quick exit. He'll go right to the pits. Oh, he spun it around coming back out. So he'll be quite a ways behind, but he stayed on track. 9 of our 10 still in it. We're side by side. Brunner alongside Hines, and then Dillon got around Jimmy Jones real quick like. Move him up to 6th. Pete Dillon would like to see John Brunner keep that door open, yeah, for about another half lap so he can get alongside Barry Hines. Just not enough time. Dylan Connor is getting out front. He's going to get about 3/4 of a second to a second ahead of the field, and he's going to stay there. Going to figure out their pace, and that's what he's going to run. Day, Werdeman, 2nd and 3rd. They're close together. We're watching 4th, 5th, and 6th right here. 7th as well, because Jones has stayed in with these guys. Within striking distance. One mistake. He could be right back in the top 5. There's your top 3. Dylan Connor just on the left edge of the screen behind the pylon. 2nd and 3rd right behind him. We've been able to talk to Jeff Werdeman a couple of times already this year. He's had some good runs in this short sprint series. We're past halfway. About 3 laps past halfway now. And it is staying about a 1/2 to 6/10 of a second. That's kind of Connor's. I got enough time if I see them coming to crank up things. They can't get on me real quick. Werdeman trying to get the 101 up there tight and close. He wants to try a 2-for-1. A little bobble there. Got the left front hooked down on that transition and couldn't get the car free. Didn't get off too nearly as good as he has been. But the gap is still open. It's Pete Dillon now up to 4th. Jimmy Jones came through when they got around Brunner. Put him up to 5th. Brunner 6th. Hines is 7th. Brian Day a ways back in 8th with a heavily damaged car. And then Westendorf has struggled all night long. Since we dropped the green flag, he has struggled to find speed. But he runs in the 9th spot. He is just in front of your leaders. He is going into turn 1 as they come off turn 4. The laps will tick down quickly. Eight to go. 15:98. No one else is below 16:1. And Dylan Connor finally is going to do the things that he does the last 8, 9, 10 laps. He is going to crank the car up and run it all the way out. Wave lap coming around this time out of turns 3 and 4. 5 to go for Dylan Connor. He's got a 1.25 second lead on Justin Day. Justin Day is about a 1/2 second ahead of Jeff Werdeman. About 4/10 that time by. Pete Dillon still in 4th. Good recovery for Pete. Was going for the lead and disaster. Got on the inside, and Marvin Turmark got the car a little free on his outside and right hooks him into the outside fence. Then back across the track, and he got collected by John Brunner as well. So South Boston doing South Boston things. It is a tough place, and it'll bite you. Well, we'll be coming around. It's 2 to go already. This thing getting in the books very quickly. Westendorf just trying to stay on the lead lap. White flag coming out this time, and I don't think he's going to be able to stay on the lead lap. And Connor doesn't have to push the issue at all. He has got a 2-second lead. He's just going to get up here and finish this off, and he'll do it about 1.75 seconds ahead of everybody else. Connor going to victory lane again. Justin Day 2nd. Jeff Werdeman in 3rd. Pete Dillon was 4th. Then Jimmy Jones, John Brunner, Barry Hines. Brian Day will finish in the 8th spot, and Westendorf came home 9th. Marvin Turnmeyer rounded out the field. So we'll get down here. We'll try to talk to the drivers we can talk to. And they're already up there. Let's grab Jeff Werdeman and talk to him. Jeff Werdeman, you got a copy?
I do, Roger. I do.
3rd place tonight. I think that's a couple of podiums in a row here.
Yeah, this car's been really hard to drive. They worked on tightening the setup, but man, she was loose, like roller skating on ice, and I really like driving cars like that because I can 2-foot it better. That's about all I'm good at is 2-footing it. So I'm not fast, but I'm able to be faster when the car's out of control like that.
Well, I always like to drive mine with my right foot more than my hands anyway. I love to lose race car when I raced, and I can appreciate the fact that, a guy that likes them a little loose. But here, a little loose, also a little dangerous, as we saw a lot of guys stepping out coming off the X's of the corners.
Yeah, in fact, I don't think I was ever letting off the throttle ever. There was a moment there where I was back on the back bumper a day there for a little bit with Justin, and I was just trying to see if I could mess with Aero and just see if I could get him loose and then dive underneath and whatnot and try to capitalize on the fact that the car was loose. But I think I ended up losing my rhythm, and then I angered the right rear while I tried to get that rhythm back, and then it was just hang on to the end.
One awesome run, man. Another podium, some shout-outs, some thank yous. We'll let you get out of here tonight.
Thank you, Roger. First of all, thank you, Roger, Marv, and Josh for running the league over the summer while I take a little bit of a racing vacation here tonight. Home team, baseball team off, so that's why we're here tonight. Thank God, Father's Pizza, BF Hammers, Gunslinger Whiskey, and, of course, the fans that do tune in, and we'll talk to you next time at the races.
All right, man. Hopefully we get to see you back next week.
Excellent. Oh, don't forget, we're off next week, and then we're racing in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're off next week. Okay. All right, man. Well, then I'll see you in 2 weeks, the 29th.
Excellent. Excellent.
Jeff Werdeman, everybody, finishing in third. And now let's get a new driver to the series. Comes in tonight, has good qualifying effort. Going to bring the car home in second place. Justin Day. A, welcome to the league. B, you came at a really tough track, and you did a good job of keeping it up there. But that guy in the 91 car, he kind of sets the tone.
Yeah, I tried to hold him off as long as I could, but he was moving pretty quick, and I had no choice but to let him on by.
Well, you get in here. This place is tough enough. We saw cars slipping all around. We saw your back end step out once or twice. A short track challenge series like this, are you a short track guy?
I prefer them, yeah. I don't like too much of the draft. I think these short tracks really demonstrate the skill in a driver, and you can't go wrong with South Boston.
Well, you had a couple of them bracketing you in. You had a pretty good one in Werdeman right up on your bumper for quite a few laps there, and the guy that got around you after that restart. So in good company to come home second tonight, man. Impressions. What do you think about this group?
It seems fun. Honestly, everybody seems clean, and like you said, the guy was on my bumper, and I felt his pressure, but I didn't feel it enough to where we had to, cause an incident about it. Everything was clean and respectful, and I think it's a good start.
Awesome run, man. Some shouts of thank yous before we let you head out tonight.
I just shout out to the all-day racing team. Shout out to the host for allowing me to come in here and demonstrate some of my skill.
All right, man.
Shout out to you for broadcasting.
Congrats on the run. Hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks when we kick things back off.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Justin Day finishing in second, newcomer to the series. This guy is definitely not a newcomer, and he just gets in here and does what 91 cars do. On Tuesday nights, he worked his way from the back to the front. It was a lot easier tonight than it has been the last couple of weeks, but the same result. Dylan Connor, you're back in victory lane.
Yeah, man, it feels good to be back up here talking to you. Last week, felt like I was going to be up here to talk to you, rather it was first or second, and then my steering wheel had other plans. So, but yeah, it feels good to be back here.
Yeah, tough break in the finish of that one. I guess it was a steering wheel. It wasn't a blown tire.
Yeah, no, my steering wheel somehow came the main wire to keep it rolling. Basically, it came unplugged somehow, so I lost all steering right there with 2 to go. So yeah, that was a bummer.
Well, we were looking at that, and that looked like it was going to shape up to be a fun battle right there. And then all of a sudden, 91 car, bye-bye. He went to the outside wall, and everybody rolled on by. And I was like, I wonder what happened. He looked like he blew a tire. No one knew for sure, because I asked everybody else, and no one knew for sure. So I'm glad that you got up here and got a chance to clear that up with us. Well, tonight, South Boston, which some guys like it, some guys don't. I have to admit, I never raced it in this particular car, but I did race it in the other street stock, the Camaro, and a couple of the smaller cars, the Whelen Modified as well. And I really never liked this place. Just too slick, no grip, and if you weren't perfect for every lap, you're going to have a lot of problems in here. But it didn't look like you had too awful many.
Yeah, I really like this track just mainly because we live literally probably 18 minutes from here in real life. So it's kind of a backyard home track for me and my dad. And I've always liked it. It is pretty tough. It's slick, and you just kind of gotta you be easy on the throttle here. All and almost any car you get into. These street stocks really aren't that powerful, but they still are really really slick on the throttle. So that was the main thing, is just being patient with it, not overstepping it.
Well, pass on the outside, gets you to the front, and then you kind of did what you always do. You got out there, got yourself a comfortable space, and the last 8-10 laps, you kind of ran away from these guys. Lap traffic at the end, I got to ask this. You had no requirement to get around those guys, and you still went in there and you passed one and almost passed the other one. Did you know how big the gap was?
Yeah, I did. From about lap 15 to 25, I rode for a little while, and I seen them. They started closing up to me. I knew with 10 to go, in case I just wanted to ride in case of a late race caution, but I knew with 10 to go, the chances of a caution were getting slim, so I wanted to go ahead and put a gap on them for when I did, catch the lap cars. And I knew what the gap was, but I feel like it's never safe till you cross the checker flag. So yeah, I just went on ahead and kind of wanted to get that out the way.
Well, awesome run, man. Shout-outs and thank yous once again before we let you head out.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you for being up in the booth for us as always. I want to thank my family and fiance for everything they do and watching me and supporting me. I'd like to thank Jeff and Marv for everything they do for the league. I'd like to thank my main sponsor, Chris and Alan Purrier with Coldwell Banker Elite and Connor Racing.
All right, man. Congrats on another win. We'll look forward to seeing you start at the back next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll see if you can drive through the field once again, because you haven't disappointed yet this year, buddy.
Thank you.
That Dylan Connor, I like to give him a lot of trouble because, man, he is hard to beat. And, even starting him at the back, and the kid's just good. I said it for the last 2 or 3 seasons. If you're going to come to this league and you're going to win, you're definitely going to beat somebody that is hard to beat. And if you get that, you've definitely earned something. You got something to be super proud of. Watching that guy, he's just really smooth. Really good driver. Really smart. Really patient. Pays attention. Saves his stuff. And like I said, he's hard to beat. So he picks up another win here tonight. That is going to do it for us. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. Come say hi in the chat. About 8:15, 8:20 Eastern, we should go live. And the trucks, once again. And I know Jay Church loves the trucks. So we'll get to watch them again tomorrow night. But I want to thank you all for being here. Without you, there's no reason for us to do this. Without all the awesome leagues giving us great racing like we saw again here tonight, nothing for us to cover. So high fives and pats on the back all the way around. Till we see you the next time, peace and love to everybody. Keep the rough side facing down at all times. Come back and see me as soon